Okay, so many of you might know that I am a big Halo fan. I streamed a couple games of Halo back in May when I first started out on this channel. I also have played every single Halo campaign, barring 5. I got about halfway through before I just got bored of it, but all the others I've completed. And I have to say, Halo is probably one of my favorite franchises, which is why it just pains me so much to see it just being thrown into the dumpster the way it is right now. If you're not understanding what I'm saying, then let's take a look at Halo Infinite, for instance. Halo Infinite has a good foundation, I will admit. The weapons feel amazing. Everything about this game just feels right. There's just like no other way to put it. Everything about this game just feels like perfect. Um, the gunplay is great, as I previously mentioned. The power-ups are fun and they add a lot of mobility, but it's not as jarring as like in Halo 4, where it would switch to a third-person view when you use the power-up. That was very jarring and kind of took you out of the experience. So Infinite is a lot more immersive, but the one thing that is really holding it back is the fact that it tries to be a live service game and is not a live service game. Now, you may be wondering, well, I mean, they've released content post-launch. Of course it's a live service game. Yeah, but a live service game shouldn't have 6-month long seasonal drops that only come with a couple maps and one new mode. That shouldn't be something to look forward to. That should be the bare minimum. And that's what 343 is giving us right now. This is an unscripted video, by the way, so if I start ranting, I'm sorry. But 343 has just become so entitled. I have a couple of news topics that I follow on Apple News, and I always check them every day just for my morning digest. And something I saw yesterday before I went into work was that there is some desync issues with Halo Infinite. And I knew there was desync before, and but it's apparently gotten worse to the point where now hit registration and hit detection is not working. In this article from GameSpot by Eddie Makic, I'm reading on my phone. I hope I said his name right, by the way. Um, Brian Berryhill, who is the senior sandbox designer for Halo Infinite, responded to concerns on a Reddit forum, saying there's a lot of factors at play in regards to ongoing updates to Halo Infinite. But the long and short of it is that developers that would normally work on fixes to issues like hit registration, quote, have been allocated to other Infinite work, end quote. What? What do you mean allocated to other Infinite? What is more important than fixing something that is potentially game breaking? And this was one of the reasons, and in my Splitgate because Halo is bad stream with Creative Tiger. This is one of the reasons that I just straight up quit the game because I wanted to get good at ranked. We started off a new ranked ladder climb during season 2. Like season 2 started, boom, we were in, we were ready to play, and I noticed the battle rifle started jamming a lot. And it was more of an artificial jamming because, as everyone knows, gun jamming is like a very rare mechanic in first person shooters. It's only in the most tactical of tactical shooters. And as we all know, Halo Infinite is definitely not a tactical shooter. But I noticed that every time, usually if you press the right trigger, I was playing on Xbox, if you press the right trigger, as soon as you fire the last shot in your burst from the BR, it automatically starts shooting another one. Basically, it's just a full auto burst. Well, I noticed it was taking about 1 to 2 seconds of of time to register that, which a lot of players called gun jamming. And it was basically gun jamming. I mean, for the most part, the gun wasn't working as intended, and it took 343 3 weeks to fix this issue. It got so bad that we quit the first day we played. Like, Halo is not installed on my Xbox anymore. I'm pretty sure it's still on my PC, but I just don't want to go back in because until they have gotten everything ironed out with this game, until co-op is in and Forge is in, I'm going to be taking a break from it because I can't stand it anymore. This team that is leading just needs to go because clearly they have no way of knowing how to properly handle this franchise. And melee hit registration is the one thing that is not working, excuse me, that is not working as it should. From the article, it says the developer said the team appreciates fans putting together compilation videos regarding issues with Halo Infinite, adding that such videos are seen by 343 developers in bug and task threads internally. Fans hoping to see fixes, however, will need to stay patient for now. Berry Hill said the developers originally assigned to fix issues like this are set to return to the Sandbox team soon, quote unquote, hopefully, and they didn't specify what they are working on now. Another thing that 343 has said, and in my opinion this is them showing their entitledness, is they need to slow down updates in the short term to help set the team up for success in the future. When 343, as I'm pretty sure it has around 300 to 400 employees, how can they not put out a solid 3-season structure, a 3-month season structure, excuse me? How can they not put that out? That's just something that has never occurred to me, because I don't know. I don't understand it. They constantly say, and this is getting to spreading to other devs too. DICE did this with Battlefield 2042. Um, they they said that player expectations were too high, and that a bunch of devs are restricting their accounts on social media because players are being so toxic. And yeah, there were a few bad apples out there, and I condemn their behavior. I think you shouldn't go after these devs and attack them. At the end of the day, they're just doing their job, and it's really management who's screwing up all the time. But what I don't understand is how these devs can lump everyone together, even the people who were just doing fair criticism. There was a big Reddit thread that was just every issue with Battlefield 2042 listed, and it was quite a comprehensive thread. Like I spent a good 2 minutes reading through all the issues, going back, poring over, and trying to think of how those were utilized in older Battlefield games. And it's so funny because Battlefield 2042 was so hyped coming in to 2021's holiday season. You had Halo Infinite and Battlefield 2042 set to dominate. Like, Battlefield would be the big PlayStation shooter, whereas Halo would be taking over Xbox and PC. Battlefield would have a bigger presence on PC, of course, because it's always been more of a PC franchise. But again, it looked like Halo and Battlefield were set up for success, and both of them looked really good. The problem is the teams working on them are so incompetent that they can't do anything related to the game. Like Halo Infinite. Oh yeah, we're not going to fix melee hit registration, a problem that is literally been ongoing since launch, and we're now about a little less than a month through season 2, almost 2 months to through season 2, which would be 8 months since launch. And you're telling me you can't put out meaningful updates about this stuff? That there's no, and I applaud them for still at least committing to the game. I mean, at least they're not leaving us in the dark. But it took them this long to get a roadmap out, and they finally released the roadmap for season 2. Every Halo player was hyped. I was hyped because as someone who loved the gameplay, I just wanted some good rewards to go along with it. Give me some incentive to play the game. Add a couple new maps every so often. Maybe have 2 maps ready to go at the beginning of the season, and then for the mid-season update, have 2 more. In Season 1, we didn't get that. We got the full list of launch maps, and that was it. The game fundamentally did not change from the end of early access, which ran from November 15th to December 8th of last year. The only thing that changed was the file size went up to 45 gigs because the campaign came out. I don't know. At this point, I do not know. It's something that has just confused me. And devs constantly say we're prioritizing team health. Well, that's great and all. I don't think crunch is a good thing in the game industry. I think it causes more problems than it solves, and at the end of the day, it's just a cost-cutting measure. But I still think you need to be having a healthy work-life balance. And most of the time when people use these, they make it in a way where they almost don't want to work as much as they have time off, which is not the way to do things. If you want to be good, if you want to succeed in life, you have to work. That's just how society works. And I can't understand why these devs are pushing for 4-day work weeks and less um, expectations. Every time a new Xbox showcase comes out, anytime any showcase comes out at this point, unless it's a Nintendo or PlayStation showcase, they just they hype it up, and then right before it starts, they're like, hey, we just want to temper y'all's expectations, okay? This is just so and so stuff. And it seems like devs are doing that now. They want to temper our expectation. They don't want us to expect excellence because Halo is a series that defined the Xbox. This video is getting too long, so let's wrap this up. In conclusion, 343 needs to get their act together. I've had it, like, I have just had it with this game. I can't even bring myself to play it again because I know I'm going to come back in, it's going to be a dumpster fire, and melee hit registration isn't working, and they just have this kind of, we'll fix it when we get to it. Okay, like, if they were saying, hey, we had to delay the release of a new map, I wouldn't be as upset. But we're talking about a feature that it's pretty much required in games. Melee attacks make up about a fourth of my arsenal in Halo. I love being the punch man. But, um, I mean, I can't expect much from this game when we are already 2 seasons in and we've gotten only one meaningful content update out of it. And calling it meaningful is a stretch. We only called it meaningful because it was finally the first fresh content we'd had in 6 months. So, that's all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm actually going to be starting a new series on the channel. Soon, we have a podcast that I'm going to be filming with the CEO of Random on Saturday, and we're going to be talking about our thoughts on one of the greatest first-person shooters that we have ever played. I hope y'all stay tuned to the channel and watch for that. It will not be live streamed; it'll just be published to YouTube, but we might stream onto it. We might stream it on Twitch. So, in that case, we'll just upload the VOD to YouTube. But have a great day. I hope you all are doing well, and thank you for listening.